people who don't live in our town. Like, how about you sell it to somebody who lives in Seattle, then they'll work on the stadium deal, or maybe they'll do a public-private combo, get a new gym. But it didn't happen. The Starbucks guys sold it to people who live in Oklahoma. And once they bought it, and then the city didn't do much to, they let them out of the lease for a buyout. Stern didn't help out protecting a great city and a great franchise. Team had been around since 1967, was generally a competitive team. Won that title way back when, 40 years ago now, and was close a couple other times.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
If the team had stayed then, I think at this point...
We just drafted Westbrook.
I know.
We had Durant.
I know.
We just drafted Westbrook.
You shouldn't have given up on that team. You should have passed whatever law was necessary. But I think that was one of the stories that showed the rest of the world, if you don't build them what they want, they will leave. Right. So Seattle was like the best thing that ever happened to the owners, because it's just like
everybody was
the guillotine. Yeah.
Well, what's funny about that? There were like bond issues for the Seahawks and Mariners stadia, and they got rejected. But then the legislature, they ran it through anyway, because to your point, they're like, yeah, we might lose it. Because there was a point where before Paul Allen bought the Seahawks, there was a threat they were going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
The Nordstroms had sold it to this guy named Ken Behring, and there was a chance they were going to take him down to L.A. And fortunately, Paul Allen stepped in, God rest, and saved the team, and they've had great success.
We've always said that's what billionaires need is more leverage.
Yeah.
All the time. And so it's great to see them getting that. That's
I pointed out, a lot of people are questioning the current billionaire, the next billionaire that says he might be running. He's the same guy that convinced us you're supposed to pay $5 for 25 cents worth of coffee. What's the
end game here?
Fool me once, shame on me.
Kenny Mayne here with us.
Lowt.com.
We talked to a lot of people here on Radio Row. You're the only broadcaster that has an athlete's handshake, though, because you were a jock yourself.
Right.
You actually signed with the Seahawks, didn't you? You were great at UNLV. Randall Cunningham was your backup.
I was very average at UNLV. I blew my chance to be better. Somebody asked me they're going through random questions. What's your biggest regret? That's probably it. I wish I had been better for the coach that believed in me. Turned out the kid who played ahead of me was the nation's leader in passing yardage. So it's not like I played behind some guy who sucked.
Yeah.
Sam King's his name. Randall Cunningham was a freshman that year. What was the question? Strong handshake.
That's right. You had a good handshake, but
of course it is.
Are you the best athlete / Sports Center host of all time? Dan Patrick can shoot a little bit, can he?
I don't know.
Stuart Scott looked like he was probably
athletic.
athletic.
On your sport. I mean, Buchagras is a very fine golfer. I know
that doesn't count. A game that frustrating and impossible doesn't count.
Yeah, I think Neil Everett is into Muay Thai.
Ooh.
That might count, because if you say it doesn't, and they say it does, they win.
He's not. He goes to dead shows with Bill Walton. You had a better question though. I cut you off. I don't know what it was.
I don't think I did. I don't think I had a better question than that. I was just talking to you about how good of an athlete you were, and you had signed with the Seahawks as a free agent.
Oh, that's what it was. The kid who played ahead of me got offered to go to Seattle, but he turned him down to go to Canada. Then he had a different health issue that messed that up for him. But my coach said, "Hey, if you like Sam, you like the number 2 guy that didn't get a chance to play very much." So I threw, and the day that I threw, that it's just like one of those rando tryouts. So it wasn't like, just get up here and we'll send you out there. Who's ever around the building, we'll run out there and run some routes for you. Steve Largent happened to be hanging around. So, I mean, I was like, oh my God, he was already something. He's catching the ball off his shoes. So he made me look good. And I signed whatever it said. It wasn't very much.
Okay. Should the
but
Cowboys
failed the physical for the ankle thing?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You needed the brace.
I know.
Walk. Yeah. So, okay. Should the Cowboys sign Earl Thomas? How about that one? You're paying a lot of attention up there. Does he still have it? Is he worth a big contract?
Sure.
Okay.
Good answer. I like that one.
Earl, if he's healthy, he's one of the best. I mean, that's a tough thing. Remember the thing with the running backs? I guess it's still a thing. After so many miles, right? It's like
absolutely.
A car.
Yeah.
They don't smell like a new car anymore.
No, they don't.
They get nicked up, and it's like they're running, and then that very next carry is like, dang, he ain't that same. And I'm not saying it to make light of it. It's just the wear and tear. You watch an NFL game on field level, and you think it should be outlawed. It's
Yeah.
like, it's madness. They're running 100 miles an hour. Every play, there's ridiculous collisions. Every play. And the wear and tear eventually gets to most of them. But if Earl's healthy and he's motivated to get back to his best, he definitely has some years left.
How many random side projects do you find yourself balancing at all times? I know nothing about it. I'm just guessing on your personality.
Yeah.
It seems like you've got way too much happening. You're like,
And-
all right, I'm going to go do Sports Center and I'm going home.
Right. I don't keep like somebody, Sarah Spain, you know, our girl
Yeah,
from
she's
ES.
great.
Yeah, I like her. She asked me like a month ago, would I do her podcast? You know, she picked a date, and I said, you're going to need to call me like the day. You think I'm going to remember that today we said we're doing it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a day timer. I just go, I have a day timer that day. Like, I have a piece of paper that says, do these 3 or 5 or 10 things. But I often am pitching projects because I do like a decent amount of commercial work too for outside and both like inside ESPN. So yeah, I'm always pitching something, and I'm not. I think what's led me to whatever degree of success I've had, if I've had any, is I don't really have any pride about it. You know, like, okay, they said no, let's ask that guy. You know, like, yeah, what do you got to lose? Like, life is short. So
Well, that's awesome though, because like every time we see you, you tell us that they canceled something else that you came up with, but it's like you're still rolling along.
Yeah,
You're
come to
super
the next one.
talented, and they know that hey, put him back behind the desk, he'll be incredible, and then you'll pop out another
well,
idea.
the funny thing is, even while we're on the air, you could be like, sometimes certain people will text you during a show. They'll text them back during the commercial. All right, I'll say that. Like you tell one person, you know, that you're going to say some silly thing in the next segment.
You're doing Sports Center just to say Beaver for your
Yeah.
friend Tim.
The first time we met you was at the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, and
That
I
was
thought,
stupid.
I thought
That
well,
whole,
I
not
could-
you
Skittles
guys.
interview?
I could understand. I
No.
could understand why we had to watch it in a.
It was ridiculous.
but I was like, Kenny Mayne is in here watching
The
this. in there.
tent.
Yeah,
We were sitting
Watch
on the
TV.
floor on
Yeah.
a closed circuit monitor
yeah.
with flickered. It was
I
horrible.
wasn't surprised that we had to do that. I was surprised that you had
Well,
to do that.
they had only so many, you know, full, you know, credentials to be out on the floor, and I wasn't in the real fight coverage crew. I was there to screw around and get like famous people to say stupid things, and yeah.
Yeah.
That was a weird night. The sadder part for me is when I went to UNLV way back when, the guy that was like our strength coach had an in with Caesars. So every time there was a big fight, all the football players got to be ushers. So way back, I did Ollie Holmes, Leonard Benitez, Leonard Hearns, a whole bunch of fights through the years, and we would be the guys in the yellow or orange shirts walking people to their seats.
Not doing your job at all once it started.
When the real thing, I was kneeling next to Jack Nicholson. Didn't really want my job anymore. And yeah, act like you belong was the thing. And then this is so long ago that on the daytime, that was a nighttime event there, but sometimes there were daytime, like noon, you know, the early start for TV on the East Coast. We'd run home and put on Wide World of Sports, and you know, you could see yourself in the background. Like that was like claim to fame. Those were good days. You weren't allowed to be paid because we wanted to.
Oh, you had to keep your eligibility.
Yes, we wanted to stand up to all the eligibility rules with the NCAA that we respected.
The great rules.
Now, some people might have received tips that you can't. I mean, if a guy wants to hand you money, although after I was done playing, like the last spring, I needed 1 credit to graduate. So I stayed 1 more spring after playing because math for everyday living didn't transfer from Wenatchee College to UNLV.
That's stupid. It should.
UNLV had standards. Okay.
Oh,
So I
sure.
take some computer science class that I got my BA degree then. So now I'm not a player anymore. So the guy now in charge of the fight game, I'm nothing. I've dropped from, I used to be like with the first and second string guys with the cool seats down by Jack Nicholson. Now I'm up in the bleachers for Holmes Cooney, and somebody tipped me a handy wipe. That was here, son.
Used.
Yeah, might as well be.
Was he asking you to find a receptacle? What the hell is that? Thanks, Kenny. Is there
Wait,
anything-
I'm not done.
Okay. Is there anything else before we let you go that you'd like to bring up? Runfreely.org, right? Runfreely.org.
That's important.
Get on there. Get a brace. Donate.
What are you guys doing next? What's going on?
Deontay Wilder's going to join us.
Are we live?
The champion.
You know, I'm going to punch him in the face.
Yeah, you're welcome to
Do
stay
it.
if you think you can keep that headset.
Do it on our webcam. You're live on our webcam if you'd like to.
You know, I'm the last guy to cut John Cena. We were at a car racing show. No, really, we did a celebrity car racing show. It's ridiculous. Famous people driving race cars. That was the show.
Okay.
Like 8-10 years ago. And John Cena, we had a victory celebration with a champagne bottle, and it broke. I broke it,
Yeah.
and then I cut him. So I'm able to say I cut
Savage.
John Cena.
There he is, the great Kenny Mayne, now back on SportsCenter.
Where's
Thank
this
God.
guy who's dodging me?
Lucas,
Deontay
you're just going to have
Wilder
to hit the
is
brake
next
button.
on
There's no way he's
105.3 The
gonna
Fan.
Coming up today on the Ben and Skin Show, we're live on Radio Row for Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And at 5 o'clock, Kyle.
Sig-Sauer P320 for just $619 at GT Distributors. GT Distributors is located at 12610 Perimeter Drive in Dallas. It's your one-stop shop for all your sporting, shooting, and public safety needs. America's public safety specialist, GT Distributors, online anytime at gtdist.com.
Nothing says I love you like a diamond. For centuries and across cultures, it's remained the universal symbol of love, romance, and commitment. And at Diamonds Direct this Valentine's, we're making it easier than ever to celebrate your love with diamond jewelry she'll cherish for a lifetime. Join us February 4th through the 14th for our best offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with nothing down on any purchase. Choose from a special expanded selection of the most romantic gifts, rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and bands. Get the guaranteed best price and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. And yes, all engagement rings are included. So come on, make it an unforgettable day for her with a special gift that symbolizes your love and commitment like nothing else. It's Diamonds Direct Spectacular Valentine's Celebration with in-store appearances from top jewelry designers, an expanded selection including gifts as low as $200 and 5 years 0 interest financing on approved credit. February 4th to 14th only, and only at Diamonds Direct.
Preston Road and Cherry Lane.
Our coverage of Radio Row from Atlanta is presented by Twin Peaks, Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of Super Bowl 53, and you can watch us in our Low T Center fan cam at 1053thefan.com/fancam.
Ben and Skin here, and the Low T Center now treats more than low T, including low thyroid and cholesterol. Get your levels checked. Schedule your quick and easy health assessment at lowtcenter.com. It's covered by most health insurance. The Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
It's time to join the millions of people that meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Zoom gives you flawless video, crystal clear audio, and instant sharing across any mobile, tablet, or desktop device. But the best thing about Zoom? It just works. So ditch the distractions, join the movement, and meet happy with Zoom video conferencing. Visit zoom.us to set up your free account today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
Get up first thing, smoke a cigarette before lunch, after lunch. Now that I'm talking about it, I kind of feeling like I've lost about 4 hours of every day. I decided I needed to find an alternative. So I started looking, and then Juul came up. I did both for a while. Eventually I just switched over, and it's very quick.
Mimi made the switch July 2015. Make the switch at JUUL.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Listen to the Ben and Skin Show for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Carlos Santana and celebrate his landmark Supernatural album and his historic 1969 Woodstock performance on the Supernatural Now Tour. It's going down Saturday, July 6th at Dos Equis Pavilion. For more ticket information, go to livenation.com.
Hey Tolos, Troy Hughes here for Amberton University, the university designed for working adults. You know what that means? Degree programs starting under $10,000, many of which can be completed online, and there's no fee to apply. So type it in your phone, amberton.edu. If you want a better job so you can have more time and money to do the things you love,